All right, hello everybody, and welcome back as we re-enter combat and get ready to have some fun over here. Let's see if we can finish things and whatnot. So I'm very happy to say that luckily we didn't have Will die in that last hour. That was so close. Oh my god, it was so close. But all right, all right. Whose turn is it next? It's the boss's turn. Oh my god! And Odette just walked up to the boss, and it's his turn. And oh man, this is gonna be all right. Might as well just finish killing the party since I already started, right? All right. What's my
My
chance?
season 19 right now.
What was that?
My season 19 right now.
Oh,
just,
good,
Just
good.
reminding you.
I'm good because he's gonna pull out his sword.
Okay.
You know, he has a very ornate long sword at his side, and he's gonna attack you with it. Are you ready?
All right. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mhm.
Okay. Here we go. AC of 19, I miss, and following up with the second attack. I actually miss you twice. I beat the AC. I got AC 14 and AC 17. I miss you twice. As he pulls out his longsword, kind of like he has his crossbow still in one hand, but like down to the side, pulls out his longsword, swings at you with a wide swing once. You kind of skirt him back very easily, nimbly dodging out of the way, and then does a thrust forward, and you kind of turn to the side and bend forward just a little bit with incredible grace. So in fact, Reich watching you, seeing the way that you move, he's not familiar with your style of fighting at all. It almost looks like you're dancing to him with his like very rigid form of combat, being trained by and I understand that he's graceful to some degree as well, but his rigidly trained form of combat and your very graceful one, it almost looks like dancing to somebody like Reich. All right, those attacks are misses, which is a little upsetting, but that's okay. And next is going to be Stalbor.
All right, he's gonna step like sort of in front of from all the combat over Luca, like defensively, and then try to cast Toll the Dead on this archer again.
Okay. And I have to
defensively clang the bell.
My what is it? Con save? Yes.
Yeah.
And this is on the
wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Sorry, on my
archer.
I fail actually, and he is injured. No.
This guy's damaged. Yeah.
No. This yellow one is uninjured.
Oh, this one isn't. Well, that's fine. I will injure him.
8 points of damage. That's an incredible win. Oh, take it. Take that 8 points of damage. That's amazing. Good for you, sir. Good for you. Okay. After your turn, Stalborn, I assume that was your whole turn?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to go to Odette, who we didn't finish during the break. I'll see if I can fix her now, because you're broken.
I am going to attack with Booming Blade again, and I'm going to use my inspiration, because I really want to hit once.
Just once.
Game, just once. And I don't think I do.
Wow.
By the way, I think 8 is the highest I've rolled this session. So
this is rough.
Little victories.
You look like on Roll For It, because over on Roll For It I play as a PC, right? And all my rolls for like the first 5 sessions were just failures. They were like ones through 7s. It was just awful. This past session I was crushing. It was amazing. But Aaron, I feel like you're gonna be that one in the group that just rolls poorly consistently.
We also have Eric, who's also doing terribly.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I think you guys all just.
I haven't killed anyone.
You guys suck together.
He's doing fine with his fists. He's just not healing anything.
Don't raid the sword. Don't do anything else. You're a monk.
Well, I'm assuming I don't hit, and that's my turn.
Yep. Now it's going to be the guard's turns. So this guard is going to try to line up his attack and attack at the leader as well. Sorry, the leader again. So he's going to do that. Sadly, he misses. The other guard is going to attack at the one with the yellow dot. Yep. Oh, and he hits. Actually, he does hit. And does 5 points of damage to him. So between you and Stalbor, you guys have done the total of 13 points of damage to this guy, which is awesome. That's certainly injuring him a considerable amount. After the guards is going to the yellow guy. He is now going to line up his attack back at that guard that's right there and try to finish him off. So let's not use that macro. It's not necessary for this. Oh, and he actually misses. So that guard lives ever so slightly longer. He's actually going to move over to cover with that being done. It's now Reich's turn.
All right, so then I am going to be brave. because my character has messed up so much. He feels as though he has to do something a little bit foolish, but ultimately brave to look good in front of his new companions. And I'm going to move up with my 2 health points, and I'm going to take a swipe at this guy with my sword to start off.
That wasn't your sword.
Strike.
Oh, whoops. Well, it does the same.
Good.
Well, do your sword attack.
Well,
Because either way, you're gonna get an
I
unarmed
get
strike.
an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Yeah, that sword strikes do nothing.
Eric, do you want the bad news or the bad news?
Well, I'm actually if I fail with my sword sword what I feel I am going to. Actually no, I'm gonna, with my unarmed strike. I have an ability as a hobgoblin called Saving Face. Once per long rest, I may gain a bonus up to 5 based off of the number of allies within visual distance. I think it's actually 30 feet. Allies I can see within 30 feet. Does that count?
Visual allies that are on the floor.
Do I count?
William, you do not count.
Because you can't see me.
2,
so it's
3, 4. Yeah, plus 4.
Plus 4. Nice. That's so it's a 19 to my.
You hit with your unarmed strike. You may do damage with it, sir. This is an amazing ability. If you actually look down below to see the homebrew stuff we have put together, the things that are there for the characters. He is playing a hobgoblin. Hobgoblins have this ability called Save the Face, which does exactly as he said. It's once per short rest, I believe it is, or maybe it's once per long rest. He can add a bonus to his roll equal to the number of awake, conscious, and helpful allies that happen to be around. It is.
That's short or long rest.
Monster abilities in Volo's Guide are so funny. The one that goblins have, where it's like you can do more damage to things that are bigger than you, is hilarious.
Oh yeah. That's a nifty one.
Just
yeah.
jab at them.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was awesome. Thank you. You actually injured the guy. Luca, it's your turn. Sadly, there's nothing you can do. You're just unconscious.
Yep, I just lay there. I kind of gurgle a little bit, like I'm.
All right, Aaron is useless and hard to hit. So sadly, he's gonna have to turn his attentions to you, Eric.
No, I don't think he should. I think he should redecide that.
Well, it's obvious. There's this like blur lady who's spinning around, and there's this big burly goblin.
If it makes you feel any better, the better of my 2 attacks hit an AC of a 13. That was the better of my 2 attacks. So, having the sword out, you come at him and you had swung at him with a sword and then followed up with a punch or a kick or whatever it was that you had just described. And he actually is. He kind of like turns and he realizes this is a style of combat that you're using. Like he shows recognition, and so he immediately starts swinging at you and kind of like countering, almost like he's just judging like how good you are at the combat that you do. And he was a little bit surprised to see your mastery being as good as it is. So he does the attacks against you and misses both times, but you can see like his face is kind of more sure of itself of what it is that he needs to do to be able to hit you. Give me 2 seconds to check one thing before we go to the next person. And what he's all of a sudden going to start doing is barking orders and commands, using an ability that he has that actually gives a bonus to his allies around him. They're going to have a bonus to their chance to hits from now on. So he actually starts barking orders and commands to those around him. He's outnumbered, but he does not look concerned because he's doing very well and you're all beat up. All right, next is Stalbor. Stalbor, be useless.
Hey. All right, that gives me line of sight of the archer again. So you better believe I'm tolling the dead.
Okay. Beautiful, and that his cover does not help him at all.
Exactly.
I get an 8. I feel horribly. He gets to roll a d12 damage.
Waste him.
What was that? 11 points of damage. 11 points of damage. Beautiful. All right, 11 points of damage. He still is up. Actually, this is a bugbear, not a goblin or a hobgoblin. This is a bugbear. These are very meaty people. He is still standing, but he is looking all sorts of messed up. Oh my god, he is not doing well at all. Okay, Stalbor, you do anything else with your turn, or are you good?
I've already moved closer so I can see. I don't think there's much I can do with my bonus action.
Sure.
So yeah, that's me.
Okay, then that is your whole turn, as you just said. Who's next?
friendly guards?
turn?
Oh no, that.
My turn?
Mm-hmm.
I get a turn?
Mm.
I'm gonna try attack him again.
All right,
Booming
well,
blade.
you can fail if you'd like.
Yep, keep trying.
Yes.
Oh! Do I hit?
You hit.
Hero.
I hit!
Please get the killing blow.
Yay!
Oh, the killing blow. This guy just started. He took
No,
six
yeah, no,
points
that's
of
not
piercing
even-
damage. 6 points of piercing damage. You actually hurt him a decent amount. So actually, Aaron, your first time successfully hitting something. Please describe it for me.
That's not true. I hit something last session.
Sure. Please describe it for me against this guy.
Odette gracefully lunges and places a single well-placed blow, sinking between any armor he has and hitting somewhere vital, hopefully.
It wasn't that vital.
That's all.
All right, next is going to be the guards' turn. So they're going to make their attacks quickly. One is going to attack the boss man because that's what he's been doing the entire time. Consistency is key. He misses sadly, and he gets very close. The arrow actually tinks off the armor and misses slightly. This one, daring to get closer to combat, is going to move over here. Let me just actually make sure I'm measuring out my movement correctly.
I am actually going to move over here, by the way, on my turn. So, where?
So he's actually going to move to here. Oh, no, he can't because of that stuff in his way. Yeah, no, he can move to here. So there you go. That's 25 plus one more. So this guy actually moves all the way up to there. There's 30 feet of move, injured, and just kind of like making his way as quickly over there as he can. And he's going to line up his attack and shoot at the archer that had cover against him just a moment ago. So making his attack roll. He hits! He hits considerably, and hopefully he can actually drop this guy because Ollie had done so much damage to him. Oh! 3 points of damage. Ollie, you had dropped him from what he had, 14 plus minus 11 is 3 points. That's 2 times in a row you were kill stole from by an NPC. But
I mean, that is actually annoying, but yeah.
Yeah. So he actually slides up and takes another shot and shoots us. As this guy's kind of like grabbing his head and like in a semi-fetal position over there, leaning against the wall, he kind of slides over and knocks his arrow, lines it up, takes the shot and hits them right in the side of the neck, and he's kind of and drops to the ground dead. This bugbear up in the corner.
I'm not even like mad. I'm gonna like give a nod to the guard that got the killing blow.
Oh, absolutely.
And, like a slight thumbs up.
I mean, you had injured the guy so much, you had thrown him off his balance, so it was easy for you to be able to do that.
The thing with the Toll the Dead, it's kind of like, can you even tell it's me? If you don't understand it, there's me doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of waving my hands around.
All right, now it's up to you, Reich. It's your turn. What can you do? Let's start finishing up this combat.
Well, I'm gonna start swinging at this guy once with my short sword.
Okay, you're gonna actually do the short. Oh, there we go. Actually, the short sword. 19. That is a hit, sir.
Nice.
That's a hit. Roll your damage for me.
Let's see what I get for damage. All right, 4 damage.
All right,
How does this
4.
guy look?
He is. I mean, stupid thing. He is injured certainly, but he is not. He's by no means is he down for the count.
Okay, so if he's not that injured, what I'm gonna do, I'm at 2 life. I'm gonna use a key point to take the dodge action as a bonus action for this turn. So I'm out of the key points now. So I used one last session, and
Disadvantage on attacks against you. Absolutely.
exactly.
Thank you very much.
My past turn.
And that was your bonus action to do that, correct?
Yeah,
Now it's going to be
so I'm
Luca's
done.
turn. I'm sorry, Will, but you were just down at the moment. Next is going to the boss's turn, and it's because Odette had fled. You were left there to be slaughtered, with disadvantage against you though. Just make sure I actually roll disadvantage. Cool. Oh my god! What are the? I'm not even joking. I rolled a natural 20 and a natural 2. And the first of the 2 rolls is the natural 20.
Disadvantage has been good for us this fight.
It most certainly has. Holy crap!
It's almost like it's strategy or something.
And this time the total chance to hit is actually a 12. So I also miss you with my second attack because of disadvantage. Otherwise, it would have been like an 18. So you get missed twice because of that. Good job, sir. All right, that brings us back to Stalbor.
Like how this guy, the boss guy, isn't very damaged, is he? He's cocky.
He
and fine.
looks injured, but he's honestly, genuinely thinks that he's going to be able to survive this.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Frostbite instead then to give Reich some more chance to survive if he makes the save.
A con save? Absolutely. I would love to make a con save.
Yeah, I know.
Roll
He
1.
makes a save.
Well,
All right, so that was that.
No one has to know.
That was your whole turn, right? Right.
I can actually.
No, Aaron, I meant fled as in ran away.
It's very rare.
I'll move a bit, but then yeah, that's my
Tactically
turn.
repositioned myself.
Sure. Your turn next, Odette.
Yep.
To reposition yourself somewhere useful.
I am right over here.
Yeah.
Fucking dick.
Wow.
I mean, we could
aggressive
both
language.
move, and then he could take booming blaze damage, but you're not going to do that, are you?
Except for my character doesn't know what the booming blade is or that he should move. I've never fought with you before.
That's funny. You guys fight all the time. Oh, you hit?
Mm-hmm. Of course I do. I'm the real fighter.
Huh. Yeah.
Really?
His second hit this entire session.
With your one kill.
5 points of damage. Okay, you 5 points of damage to the guy. So once again, you hit him. Now the things are starting to turn on him a little bit. He took the hit. He's taking hits left and right. He's kind of looking around. As all of a sudden you seem to pull your head out of your bum, and you're lining up your attacks better, taking advantage of positioning, taking advantage of the fact that he's getting surrounded. You can see that he's now actually getting a bit nervous. This archer is going to go over to here. He's still bleeding from his side, but he's going to do what he can to line up his attack and line up a shot and attack, and this archer is going to be as well. He's now being
here.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say being attacked by so many people at once, I can start giving you guys advantage, but Aaron ran away. So never mind. Never mind. They make their attacks without the advantage. And doing it again. Oh my god.
There.
No jokes. One of those attacks is a critical hit.
These guards are good, you know. They.
Jesus Christ.
Oh. Justice.
You know, we really should have left this to the guards. Like, we should.
This is why, even
inform
though I
them.
don't live here,
You know, half of the guards were bad anyway. We had to take care of some of them.
Oh my god. Okay. Before he was
I'm not
getting
even mad.
concerned and starting to look around like perhaps I should do something else. This is the path I should take. But now he's like slumped. Like after that arrow hit him, it hit him in a vital spot, and you can totally tell. Right can see it right in his eyes. You can see like the fear of death hits his eyes as the arrows hits him from behind, and he's like, oh! And now he's like slumping and defending that spot, and he's starting to like look around. It's like he has this like feral look to him, like, no, I need to get out of here. I need to survive. And he starts like looking for avenues and ways to get out. He starts trying to figure that out. It's actually going to be your turn, Reich. Oh
Alright,
god.
So
Oh my god, that was an insane attack.
I'm gonna thwack him first with my short sword. See if that hits.
You,
That is not gonna
you
do.
miss horribly. Oh my god, I might actually survive.
As you get an unarmed strike, though.
I might actually
You,
survive.
I mean, you're not here, are you, Scott?
No, I know.
Oh, sorry,
So
he
I-
might actually
I-
survive.
I miss him twice. And yeah, that's all I have. I have no key left. So that's me.
Yep, that is you. Awesome. So Luca, you're on the ground
Aaron,
bleeding.
why?
Okay. That is going to be his turn. So he kind of like looking around, trying to choose the best path for him to go. He is going to disengage and head down this way. Oops, sorry. Ah, stupid thing. It's because I have to have it set up as a drawing half the time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to alt him around.
Yep. So
Scott,
yes,
if he moves, he takes a D8 damage.
he does
Is it
not know
boom,
that. He does not know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm letting you know.
Yeah. So he disengages and moves down here.
Okay. And damage.
Aaron, he had 1 health point left. As all of a sudden he like
Oh yeah.
what he does is he literally he scoops up a handful of blood in his palm and he throws it in Reich's eyes. So Reich like flinches back for a second, and then he turns
Christ.
and he starts running and he gets about 2 steps. And as he gets those 2 steps, Aaron, describe to me what happens.
So, as Odette has been fighting this guy, she's been casting spells, but it doesn't seem to be doing much until he moves. When he moves, all of a sudden, like arcane wards appear around his feet and just slice him open as he runs by, and he falls to the ground.
There you go. So
Like
arcane
other
wards.
chunks fall and different splats and blood.
So arcane wards, as you said, like so, arcane signal, sickness, whatever, appear at his feet, and then all of a sudden, each one of those characters, which is comprised of 2 or more little like dashes to them, almost like I think like a kanji or something, they start to rise up, and each one of them start to whirlwind around and doing little slices and whatnot, working its way up his body, doing a bunch of like death like 1,000 cuts from these little like little cut wounds from the actual energy sigils themselves. And with that, he in fact does drop. That is it. It's over. No mas, Avita say. Kudos to you guys. That was awesome. That was everybody, right? That was everybody I had hidden. That was all of them.
Yeah.
That is perfect. Awesome. Cool. I'm wicked excited. You guys excited?
Yeah.
Priorities. I'd be excited if I was up on my feet.
Priorities. I'm going to immediately like I sort of like give a nod of approval to a bet. But like more pressing matters, rush to Luca and start casting Healing Elixir.
All right, so you start.
So you can do some other stuff while I'm casting it, but
so it's going to take a minute as he goes over to Luca and he stands over him, and you start casting a spell. Before we get to the RP that they might do, could you describe to me what it looks like as you stand over him with your tome open, casting your spell?
So I've been casting Frostbite a little bit in the fight, and so it sort of looks like that at first because like ice rises up from the spell book open, but with the red magic and sigils and spinning symbols and I believe I also do actually have to like mutter incantations. Yeah, I'm literally speaking in Elvish and some other unknown languages as the ice starts forming around a sort of spark of white light, the same sort of light when I cast Spare the Dying. It starts like we're creating a healing potion basically out of ice. The ice starts turning into glass, and the white light starts turning into a liquid in my in the hands, and then I slowly like grasp it, and then just immediately put it to Luca's lips, slowly like nursing him essentially.
Awesome.
Because if you do it too fast, it's just gonna do more harm than good.
Yeah, no, understandable. Perfect. So while this is going on, while you're making this white liquid material for you to nurse to his lips, you are Odette and Reich. What do you guys do? That was not meant to sound weird.
It sounded way too weird, man.
For the record, it ends up sort of pinkish. Okay.
Well, either way, I'm gonna head to the goblins and hobgoblin that I knocked unconscious, and I'm going to tie them up with bits of rope and kind of point them out to the guards.
I'm gonna kind of give like a sad look at the bugbear that I killed, almost as if I'd hoped we had knocked him out, but alas we couldn't. I see that he's tying up.
You talking about the boss creature that you killed?
Yeah, the boss one was
a bugbear.
He was a hobo.
Oh, okay. Well, unfortunate that we had to kill him. And I'm gonna go over and see if the gnome is okay, and I'm gonna go over and see if the woman is okay.
Okay, so the woman is actually mostly unconscious. If you try to speak to her or anything like that, she barely is able to respond. She's stable, sure, but she definitely needs some medical aid. As for the gnome, after she had been cut, after she was kind of like released and cut down and everything, all the combat kind of turned its attention away from her. She actually ended up finding herself right over. Let me get you out of my way. She ended up finding herself right over here, in this corner. And in the corner that over there, she was like crouched down, and she had a dagger in her hands. The dagger I'll describe as it's made out of steel, definitely no question about that. But set into the dagger is a small, almost looks like a malachite stone set into the dagger. The reason why I describe it as malachite is because it's like pale blue color. But it's very likely not a malachite. As a matter of fact, Odette, you're the one that's over there. Could you roll for me an Arcana check, please? And
certainly.
Do you have advantage with that?
Do I?
Dragon shards. No, you don't.
Is that unconventional magic?
It's not unconventional. It's very conventional. Yeah, no, it's very traditional here.
Okay.
So you actually can tell it's a kyber shard. So kind of like looking at it, you can see that she has this kyber shard embedded into like the. So you have the cross piece of the blade. So literally, right as the blade is starting to come out of the cross piece, right at the base of it, has that inside of it, and she's kind of crouched down and ready to like fight off anything that's coming her way. But again, very quickly, you can tell that it doesn't look like she's trained to fight. She just has a weapon and she's crouched down, ready to like thoroughly defend herself. All right. So that is what you see. Reich, what do you do?
I finished tying off the people that I knocked unconscious.
Sure.
I look around at the other corpses, and then I don't know. I'm not a very empathetic person. I'm not gonna be the one to go over and talk to her. So I'm just gonna kind of sit there, and well, I'm actually gonna go over to the guards and say something to the effect of, "These ones are unconscious. You may want to take them into custody."
Okay. So you are. The guards actually came up and approached you while you were tying them. Oh, they assisted you. They approached you after they were done helping tie up and everything. And they're like, yes, it'll happen. Uh, we didn't realize dissension in ranks.
I nod and say, "Either that, or you were the smart ones."
Could you do me a favor and roll for me a history check with advantage? First, roll me a perception check, normal perception.
Roll perception. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong roll.
No, you're not convincing anybody.
I very convincingly see things.
Now roll me your history check with advantage, please, and thank you. And you got a 6. So sadly, you're tying them up, and you don't notice anything. You don't notice anything noteworthy. Okay, you don't notice anything noteworthy. With your 6. All right. After that, we're gonna go Stalbor. You finish creating this elixir, and then you nurse the liquid into his mouth. We're gonna have that deal heal 2d4 plus 2. Feel free to roll that if you'd like.
Me or Luca?
It doesn't really matter.
Go ahead, Stalbor.
Okay. Oh, I need to. Well, I don't rarely roll this way.
I got you. Boom. Done. You heal 8.
Great. Golden.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Yeah, you're back
Good
up to
enough.
8 HP, sir. So that being said, with your 8 HP, somehow back and unconscious and on your feet. So when you wake up, you actually see Stalbor kind of kneeling over you, and he's pulling something away that he was just, you could taste the strange taste.
The glass is still there, but then it just sort of crumbles into ice in my hands, and I brush it away.
So when you come to, you see him kind of brushing something off of his hands, kind of kneeling over you and looking at you with a somewhat concerned face, but then switching to more of a satisfied. You know what I mean? And he's brushing something off of his hands, and you have this like strange icy taste in your mouth, something like you've never tasted ever.
It's
before
like uncomfortably cold in the throat kind of thing.
Yeah.
So upon opening my eyes and having that weird taste, it's slightly concerning, but not so much because I'm awake. And then I'm just kind of like, I grab right where that arrow was that blew up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, oh, like I like what happened, like.
So it's funny because
You
as
honored
you grab where that arrow was, and then Stelbor, please feel free to RP. As you grab it, it actually is extremely cold to the touch. It's like, ooh, and then you like look down at that spot where it's cold to the touch. You'd actually see that there's like ice formed over the wounds, and the wound is a lot smaller than maybe you would have expected, considering what. You weren't even awake. What happened yet.
I wasn't exactly.
But
I wasn't
it
awake.
is very
Like
cold
a
to the
massive
touch.
chunk, but
Yeah.
now it's
All right. There you go. I'm sorry, Stelbor, you were saying?
You honored yourself and your ancestors. You should sit and rest. Your blade tasted enough
fucking
blood,
nice.
and you did what had to be done. You did amazingly well.
Where's that
So-
noise coming from?
So I guess I'll nod to that, and I'll kind of look around at what was the battlefield, and see that it seems that we've made work. I actually never even saw the boss, so I don't even know that happened. And I'll just take a moment, and mechanically I'll be using second wind, but I will be just kind of sitting there tending to my wounds essentially.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. You don't even have to use second wind. What you would do is just use your HD during the short rest or whatever. Okay. So you guys.
Well,
finish...
I'd rather.
Are we having a short rest?
Yeah.
I'd rather use second wind prior to short rest.
Nope. It has to be done in the middle of combat. Combat's over. You don't get a free extra heal thing if you don't use it. You don't get a free extra heal thing if you don't use it. That's not how it works.
Does second wind have to happen in combat?
You think this is freebie? Yeah. You think this is freebie
It's
zone?
basically like adrenaline.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Freebie zone here. You think we're gonna just like give you stuff for freeze? Ollie, don't forget you can actually. Wow, good roller. Ollie, don't forget you can actually press the hit die button on your character.
Oh, I'm that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Okay, so you guys spend those as you're healing yourself, whatever the case might be. everybody comes together, and of course, now you're approaching the one that looks like a young girl, but is actually not. It's actually a female gnome. Erin, as I had described beforehand, you had seen that weapon was in her hands, and you were the first one to approach her. So, what? Like, I'll give you a moment to RP with her before anybody else does. But what do you say? Like, how do you open this?
I'm saying, you're okay now. You're fine. Your companion needs medical attention, but I think she's gonna be okay. Are you hurt? And then try to be really concerned, try to calm her down a little bit, seeing that she's like about to attack.
She's like, you don't need to speak to me like I'm a child. I'm not a child. And she stands up, brushing herself off, seeing that everything is now okay.
Very well. That's a very beautiful blade.
Yours is fine as well. This is. You said she's going to be okay.
She needs medical attention, but I think she'll be okay.
Get a gnomish voice working over here. No.
I make him nice and Irish.
Yeah, I'm terrible with accents. So, so she's like, you said she's gonna be okay. All right. Well, then perhaps I should accompany her. I'm sure they'll service her. I have a friend with Jurasco, so we can. Thank you for your services. And she like moves to move past you.
Would you like us to escort you? I can grab you a carriage. And say, Odette de Orion.
Oh. And with that, she actually turns back around and she'll walk up to you and hold out her hand to give you like an appropriate welcome. And she says, Yosis Landlin, I didn't realize that you were I didn't realize your family. I'm a little shaken up at the moment.
I understand. Please, let me get you a carriage so we can see your friend safe.
Certainly, and if you're willing to accompany us, then looking at his, what's his face there, Luca, who's kind of just waking up and getting off the ground, and looking at Reich, who is a bit shaken up himself, though he's able to heal from hit die and whatnot. He could technically heal another D8, D10, D8 if he wanted to, and heal himself all the way, but still scratched up or whatever. She kind of looking at them and says, "You're welcome to join me in the carriage if you'd like. The company would be appreciated."
Yeah, I guess I would like stand up, like stretching off my like injuries a little bit, like just shit, like, and I'll nod and start walking over toward them.
Yeah, Stelbor had been like reading his spell book and just like tracing the pages and slams it shut and re-ulcers it and doesn't say anything, just sort of follows with Luca.
Okay. So you guys are rejoined with the group of them, the sky carriage that you have called for, whatever does come down to lift you guys up. But of course, conversation is able to happen. So as the rest of them come together, she doesn't seem to ready to jump into conversation with everybody else. But she will of course speak if you choose to do so. So RP as you see fit. But again, so she says to you, "How is it that you?" I can't believe that it's sheer coincidence that you happen to be in this area.
We were given information.
By who? Are you not able to say? Should I be concerned? Were you handed this information as a means of protecting me, or were you handed this information as a means of harming me, and you just had a different heart? And she her hands kind of gets a little bit closer to the blade at her side again.
We are your friends. I turn to Luca. It's like, the intention was to frame House Denise, and that is why he is here. I am here because my house has an interest in keeping you safe. And these two are here because I don't know why they're here.
They assumed I care about all hobgoblins.
Well,
racism.
Everyone's reasoning is not really my concern, but the fact that you are here is, and I greatly appreciate it. What you've done. I mean, you've saved my companion and myself. We don't usually make our way into the bazaar, and so this was just a circumstance that. Well, let's get to House Jarasco and let's make sure that she's okay. And the sky carriage that was kind of traveling you guys the whole way. And at that point, she kind of gets quiet, unless again you guys approach her directly about something. She's gonna quiet up a considerable amount.
Mhm.
Can I cast message to Odette because she's the one doing the talking, and it's like doesn't matter for right now, but it's just like of course we need to find out why someone will go to such great lengths to want them dead.
I agree.
This is not just a regular assassination.
No.
And then
I am curious on how. What was his name? Came across the information as well. I don't believe him.
Dane.
Dane.
Deander.
I don't entirely believe his story.
Yeah,
and I'll put the magic away. You guys wouldn't have heard that. We were whispering.
Right. So I guess on this travel, I'll kind of look at Odette and you could see me not saying anything to you, but trying to read you.
So by the way, you guys are all, especially you, are probably all beat up and battered, and you had an explosion occur on you. Odette still looks fabulous. Like, her dress is entirely unscathed. She didn't take a single point of damage. Wasn't hit once in combat.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Salvo looked good to start with. He looks just the same now. But...
I guess you just see a look on my face.
I look thoughtful. Also, like I'm trying to puzzle everything out.
Okay, that's fair. The look on my face isn't necessarily thoughtful, but more like, when a dog looks at its master, kind of like, did I do good? Did I do good? He's kind of so he kind of has a look like that on his face, like, did I do good? It's kind of like but he doesn't want to show it, but he can't not show it. That's exactly the look on his face.
If I notice you like staring at me, I get noticeably uncomfortable about it.
If you look at me, I kind of look away like I wasn't looking at you. It's kind of like.
Oh, that's adorable.
So funny. All right, so what was I saying? So eventually the cart brings you to where it is that you're going, to the district where you can get to House Jarasco, a healing house. And as soon as you get there, so as soon as you get to where the healing house is, the young one, she kind of pops immediately out of the cart and goes rushing in towards where the House Jarasco area is. I don't know if anybody follows her immediately or stays behind with the other woman. Anybody?
I'd probably follow.
I'm preoccupied.
I will come there.
Jumped on me.
Stay behind with the hurt woman?
Yep.
I will stay behind with the hurt woman, absolutely.
Okay, so Odette, you go in with her, and you can see that she immediately walks in. As soon as she walks in the door, whether or not your characters ever needed to go inside of a House Jarasco, I don't know. That's between you and you. But when you walk in, it looks very House Jarasco. The place seems like a medical facility. Like you'd imagine a very clean hospital to be set up. And it's designed for everybody to be comfortable here when they come in to do so. However, everybody in this building, everybody that you look to your left, look to your right, look up, look down, everybody around you, they're all halflings. So as soon as she walks in, she's like, "We need medical aid immediately. We have one of my companions. She's injured. We come quickly. We need aid." And so two people will immediately get up and they go over to a wall where they open up like a little cabinet or whatever. And one of them reaches and grabs what looks like a stretcher. And so they close the cabinet and they come rushing out with the girl carrying the stretcher between the two of them. So one in front, one behind, carrying the stretcher out there. And as they go over to where the carriage is, and they go to put the stretcher immediately in front of it, one places their hand on the stretcher and says like a quick little word, and the stretcher continues to float immediately afterwards. Then they both go over and kind of climb into the carriage and do their best to help to move the woman onto the stretcher. Now, you can see that because they are both smaller in size, it is a little bit more difficult for them to do. I imagine Luca immediately jumps up and lends aid.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So they do that. They you immediately jump up and lend aid. They give you an appreciative nod, and they put it on top of you put her on top of the stretcher. As one of them goes walking into the facility, the stretcher's following just automatically immediately behind that one, and the other one's able to follow behind the stretcher as well. Their hands don't need to be on it at this point. Anybody who has any formal understanding of magics, you would immediately know that this is Tensor's floating disc turned into a magical item form that they have with them. So they bring her into the facility. They immediately bring her over to a room where of course paperwork can be handled later on, and they start administering healing herbs and salves and stuff like that, because that's the way they generally do things. Now, for everybody else that hasn't been into a one of these facilities beforehand, which is probably both Reich and Stalbor, but Luca, you've almost definitely been in one of these before, especially with your upbringing. Again, it looks very much like a hospital. So the walls in here are all very light gray or white. The floor has that like checkered paneling of black and white checkered panel, like you would see in like a creepy horror game on a hospital floor. Everybody in here is wearing very light colors, so they are either like pale blues or white. So again, they are all dressed very well and looking nice. You can see that there's a bunch of different services that are offered. So when you go up to the desk, it says like up there, need magical aid, and it says kind of like go to the list. This person need mundane aid, go to this direction, and you can tell. I mean, for somebody like Luca, it definitely stands out for you. And for Odette, it stands out for you. For the other two, it probably falls on deaf ears. But the way that things are designed, the way that things are phrased and whatnot, like magical aid versus mundane aid, you know it's to convince people they want magical aid. Because why? It's more expensive,
More
right?
money. Yeah.
So it's more expensive. It's hard to get your hands on, so on and so forth. The sigil of this house is a griffin. Griffin. The half griffin, half lion. It's griffin, right? Yeah, the half bird, half lion.
Half eagle, half lion.
Half eagle, half lion is a griffin. Thank you. So I was like,
Yes.
wait, I forgot my D&D monsters for a second. So it is a griffin. So you do see that is what is up in the front as you come into the facility. It's kind of like has this poised way that's standing there. And to both Reich and Stalbor, immediately it looks like this thing is poised, like it's ready to jump down and attack you. Like it looks like in a very aggressive stance. However, once again, understanding these histories better, both Odette and Luca know that it's actually poised with its wings outstretched and whatnot in a way as though it's being protective, as though it's actually trying to wrap you and hold you in its wings. So you two both see the loving stance of this. The other two are seeing it as being very aggressive. All right. So you go into the place, and after like she's taken care of, and the gnome kind of goes off to the side with her, and you know that she's easily going to be gone for an hour with her friend in the other room. You guys are welcome to stick around if you'd like to or not. But before you even get to decide, is kind of one of you is turning to the others to regard one another. One of the people that had helped bring her into that room comes walking out and immediately goes over to Luca, and starts going over to him and grabs at like where one of his injuries are, like that side where the explosion was. There's tons of blood and stuff like that pouring down the side, and immediately starts unfastening his armor over there.
So I know that they're known for medical, and it seems like they're trying to help, right?
Yep. This is a hospital. Yep.
Yeah. So I look at I say I'm not sure exactly what caused this. It just hurts. It's like it hurts.
Explosive arrow.
I look at Stalbor and I'm just like, what? That arrow is explosive?
An arrow with some sort of pyrotechnic payload. That's the crater was a lot bigger before I healed your mortal wounds.
Hold on one second, Luca, before you respond. When he says that, could you do me a favor, roll me a history check with advantage, please, and thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Toggle advantage. You said history, correct?
Correct, with advantage.
Yep.
Okay, with your 12, for you the DC is lower than it is for most people because of where you live. You come from Karnath. These are, this sounds to be like dwarven, dwarven powder. So your nation used to encompass pretty much all the dwarven homes on this continent, but they are now a separate country that's adjacent to your country, and you do have very good ties with them for the most part, especially your house does. Your house has good ties with them. So this sounds like dwarven powder, something that would cause an explosion if wrapped inside, pressurized explosion.
So upon realizing that, I won't change what I say. I'll look up at Stalbor and say, did it hurt you or the goblin attacking me?
It hurt me and the gnomish woman. I am made of stronger stuff, but she might need some minor treatment. If she's still here. I don't know if she actually is being looked at, because she got hit in the blast a little bit.
Mm-hmm. she had an injury and whatnot before. Like I said, there was some charring of her clothing and whatnot, but she seems to be ignoring it.
So I'll nod to that and say, sorry, I was such an easy target.
You did amazingly well. I've not seen a fighter of your kind, or at least your whatever family name and etc. You should not be ashamed of what you committed on that battlefield.
I'll nod to that, like accepting the compliment. However, I won't personally, like, you could see just like a sign of defeat in my face.
He stops trying very quickly.
Absolutely. That's fine.
And goes back to looking at the various like medical salves and things.
Good.
Anybody else want to chime in, or?
I think we need to have a discussion on what we're going to do from here and how much we're going to tell that woman about what we know.
So I look up at, so she's saying this in front of like the nurse, right?
I am. I'm avoiding any names though. Like I said, if we should talk about our benefactor.
So as you avoid the names, I say, well, maybe, and I'm like, as she like tends to like cringing a little bit, maybe we should learn each other's names.
That's funny. And as he says that, why don't we take our second break, realizing you guys don't even know each other's names. Why don't we take our second break, and we'll pick up after this break with you guys having gone like 3 or 4 buildings over into some sort of tavern or something where you can have a quick bite, knowing that she's going to be in there for a bit. You can leave word with the nurse saying, "Oh yeah, just let her know. We'll be right over. We'll be right back if she gets whatever." But
absolutely,
why don't we take a break right now? Let everybody go pee, and I think I officially want a beer. That was a lot of fun. I need to get a beer. So we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much.